Type Soul, a fan favorite game for most that have played it in 2023, and with the return of it in 2024, there has been a significant amount of changes within the game, ranging from builds, reses, Shikais, bolts, and whatnot, but along with these come new experiences. Top 3 I want to cover are mainly Clan Wars, map content, weapons, Shikais, reses, and bolts, and lastly, items. But yeah, without further ado, let's begin with the video. So the first thing I want to cover is Clan Wars. Now, most of you guys are familiar with Clan Wars from 2023, and for those that don't, it is basically a 6v6 fast-paced game mode where clans go against each other in a choice of 5 game modes that can be picked at the beginning of the match for variety, supposedly. But along with these, Clan Wars can receive high-ranking rewards such as Stream of Rays, Dimensional Shards, Shards of Ryatsu, and anything under that. The list is infinite, really. But it sounds like a good mode, right? Well, you get to play with friends and get good drops, and to that I say yes and no. The main issue with Clan Wars that I've noticed along with some of my teammates of mine, good drops aren't consistent and the modes are redundant and boring, as well as the only viable game mode being Cascade, since it supposedly gives 2x drop rates, rematch, and it basically leaves the other modes in the dark and unplayed. Now I will ask some of my friends what they think about Clan Wars so you guys get a different output on them. Alright, today guys, I have brought on one of my best friends called, want to introduce yourself, bro?
Yo, I'm Star. You know, me and Marisa, we be friends. You know, same type Soul Clan type. Goofy ass intro.
So for the first question I got for you today, bro, is on Clan Wars. So do you like the Clan Wars game modes?
Hell no, they're all boring.
How so?
Okay, so peak game. Cascade, it takes way too long. It's not about skill. Popping and Raging Ryatsu can just flip the whole script, right?
Okay.
King of the World is a good game mode, but the problem is it gives no loot. It has a 0.8 times multiplier, so most people just don't want to do it.
Right, yeah.
Capture the Point or whatever it's called is just a like do I gotta say anything? It's a terrible game mode.
No,
The only good one is Thrill of the Hunt, because Thrill of the Hunt is actually like kind of original and it's not annoying and it low-key is quick, but nobody wants to click that. So
Okay. Good response for the first question. So do you find Clan Wars entertaining?
are we just asking the same questions here? Definitely not. Bruh, they're boring and they're the only way to get good loot.
Okay. All right, for the final questions, what would you change about Clan Wars?
Okay, so the first thing I would change about Clan Wars is I would put the loot pool in like the bosses and the overworld. Now I know that's not like exactly a Clan Wars change, but it would just be helpful. The second thing is that you should, okay, I know it's called Clan Wars, but you should be able to queue without a clan, because if you really think about it, how many people really have 6 friends that like always get on for like when the update drops, especially if you're like a content creator or something and you want to get the new content. So if you would be able to queue without 6 people, or like with just like as yourself with another random 6 people against another random 6 people, that could definitely improve Clan Wars. And then the last thing I would do is that right now there's like unranked next to everyone's names, which obviously should mean that they hope to like put in a ranked system. So if you could have Clan Wars Elo, that would also be pretty cool. But they would have to like fix the actual game modes first before they do that. And yeah, that's what I would fix.
That's good, bro. Yeah, I like that a lot. That's basically what I got for you, bro. Appreciate your time, man.
Of course. Sub to Mauricio type shit.
Yo, sub to Star, bro. I'll put his link in the bio.
I bet.
For my second guest, go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
Alright, I'm NX. You know I make Top Soul videos, and yeah.
All right. So for the first question, do you like Clan Wars game modes and why?
Yeah, I like 2 of them. Honestly, the other 2 I don't even play them. But Cascade and King of the World, I think they're fun. Yeah, you got 1v1s, you got a bit of team deathmatch. I think it's just it fits well.
Okay. So would you say you would find Clan Wars entertaining?
No. Yes. I think Clan Wars, it gets, it gets really intense at sometimes. Everybody pops bonk. It is fun. It is fun. I like it.
But would you say like it gets boring after repetitively doing it and not getting like good drops?
I mean, that's kind of like with everything. You know what I'm saying? If you do something a lot, too many times, it's obviously gonna get, repetitive and a little boring. But
Okay. So, final question: what would you change about Clan Wars?
let me think. What would I change about Clan Wars? Honestly, I'd probably, I don't know. I'd probably change the drop rates maybe, but as far as like game modes, I mean, everything kind of, you got the team deathmatch cascade, you got the 1v1s, you got the capture the flag one, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what the third one is, but I mean, I feel like they all kind of fit as like a Clan Wars, like, I feel like they all have their separate, objectives, separate things, and I think it just fits well, to be honest.
Okay, well, when you say drop rates, like, because you know how like, let's say like Cascade, you get like times 2 loot drops, and for King of the World you get times 8. Would you make them all the same?
I think, yeah, honestly, yeah, because like, I mean, one of them, there's not really like, I mean, if you want to play one, you shouldn't have a lower drop rate than the other, you know what I'm saying? I feel like they should all be like the same, but I feel like they be dropping like, this might just be me, but they just be dropping like random stuff, like an element reroll for, a hard-earned win with Banka, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, just raise it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right, man. Appreciate your time, bro.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, I got you, bro. So now that we have a good outlook on what other people think of Clan Wars, and as a general, let's get into map content. So regarding map content, there have been some big changes that must be discussed, obviously. For one, being AFK World, aka my favorite. For those that don't know, AFK World is a spot where you can just be AFK for 24 hours at a time for random items ranging from the smallest being an eye color reroll to a dimensional shard, and really the possibilities are limitless. I mean, you can get anything. And I think that AFK World has definitely made its mark on Type Soul. It's been very helpful and resourceful to the community, as it offers an additional way to earn the endgame items on top of things like Clan Wars, like we just discussed. Overall, nothing bad I have to say about AFK World. It's just a really good addition. But with good things, there obviously come some bad things. And I wish I could say the same about Arena. Now, for those that don't know, Arena is basically pretty much a useless game mode in my opinion. This mode basically consists of a gladiator match. You can see where I'm going with this, right? It's literally just a gladiator match where it has low value items. It takes a long time to play, not really much to do, and the drops aren't really worth the time you have to put in. So I'm gonna put up some clips of my friend H1 when he does the arena for around 15 times to show that you don't really get much past a Hog Yoku fragment or a skill box, which is definitely kind of a heavy hitter for those that want to play arena. But now that we've covered the two main game looking like update things, we have to move into the elephant in the room, because this is definitely the most important part of this video: ranked. Now, again, for those that don't know, ranked is basically a 1v1 against a random person in your region, and whoever wins gets two things. They get rewards that can range from anything from a free roll to a essence, or maybe I think manuals as well, like Formless and Taekwondo, and you gain elo as well. Now, with this elo, the higher elo you get, the better rewards will be once the rank season ends. It's basically just like any other game, just a rank system, but I myself was never a top player, so I think it would be better if we had a top player to see their perspective on ranks and the seasonal rewards. So let's hop straight into that. So for the first question, do you think it is worth grinding for high rank in Type Soul?
Like ranked leaderboard, right?
Yeah, like we talking like top 10 season champ type.
No, not at all.
All right, can you explain further on that?
One, the ranked awards like aren't that good. Obviously the wreath is like pretty cool to have. It's like just because it's cosmetic.
Yeah, yeah.
Like in this current state of the game, like with the meta like armor set, like you obviously want to go like wheel. But like going for season champ takes too much time. It's not worth it. It's not a good demonstration of skill either.
Also, because of the 2v2 things.
And also just in like not even 2v2s too. Like obviously you can factor in 2v2s, but with the current state of ranked, you don't really lose enough elo to actually like demote ranks. Like you can constantly just keep winning. It's just a matter of like whoever plays the game the most. Especially it shows a lot in the leaderboard. Like for example, like a lot of the twos farmers, they just play a lot, and that's why they get to like leaderboard really quickly, and they'll stay there and maintain it.
Okay. All right, that's a good. I didn't even know that myself, to be honest. So for question 2, what is the biggest flaw and the biggest upside about ranked?
I low-key don't gotta answer this. Hold up, let me think.
Nah, take your time, bro.
Biggest flaw and biggest upside. I guess the biggest upside is that if you're a new player, it's definitely a good way to. It's a good gateway to learning the game, learning like all your fundamentals and stuff. But as like a, I guess as a bad side or a downside, as I should say, is. Damn, I don't really know.
I don't know. Would you say the rewards aren't as good?
Oh, I guess yeah. The words aren't that great. For like how much you're playing, kind of.
Alright. And final question: any tips for players that are trying to get into ranked?
Like get into ranked in general, or just like type soul in general?
Just PvP. Let's just chop it up to PvP.
Learn your build. Number one, learn your build. Work on like basic fundamentals like parrying, movement, understanding like when to dodge, when to flash step. Because I see a lot of people like wasting their flash step and wasting their dodge, and they'll just get caught by a random move. And parrying is like number one, because like if you can't parry, then you're just gonna lose.
Right. All right, bro. Appreciate your time, gang.
Got you.
All right, bro. All right, guys. Now that we've covered up our first topic in this video, I want to jump straight into our next one, which is weapons, Shikais, reses, and bolts. Now, starting with weapons. Ever since the release of Type Soul, obviously, there's been a bundle of weapons that released, but the main ones I want to cover are pretty recent, and yep, you guys probably already guessed it in your heads. I want to cover the Dimensional Shard weapon, which is Yamato, the Stream of Ray weapon, which is Murasama, Shard of Ray, which is Abject, Free Nerf Warden Gauntlets for Quincy's, and Odachi's mythical weapon for Soul Reapers. Alright guys, beginning with Yamato. Now, this weapon upon release was probably one of the best weapons, if not the best weapon in the game, by far. Having incredibly fast swing speeds, high damage output, great criticals over all the races, it was definitely the best weapon to grace Type Soul at the time. But then came the nerfs. These nerfs caused this wonderful weapon to fall from grace, being sort of a mid-tier weapon now. Although some of the nerfs were justified, like the swing speed, the damage on the criticals, it started to become more unused to the point where I barely see it in ranked matches, and it's just simply been replaced and it lost its spot in the meta. The next one I want to discuss, which is probably the most ridiculous one, is the Murasama, otherwise known as the Stream of Ray. And now at the time of recording this, the Stream of Ray weapons is by far the most ridiculous thing I think they've added into Type Soul. I mean, it makes the other two mythical weapons seem like legendaries, or dare I say rares at this point. Combined with its strong critical and combo potential, it is very tough weapon to fight against. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Best variant being the Type Soul Murasama, with 3 different criticals, each performing their own thing, I guess. I mean, these criticals have one that buffs the user and nerfs the other person's damage. I mean, I think that in itself is pretty insane. A critical that makes the opponent unable to move, or unable to use moves, sorry. For Shikais, except for Shikai moves, I believe. I'm pretty sure the user can still use their Shikai moves. And it's almost like ink but it's faster and easier to land due to this AoE. And the last one being, it disables flash depth for a few seconds. Yeah. Pretty balanced to me though. But you have to keep in mind that these are mythical weapons, and in a sense they do deserve to be good. Now, for the last of our mythical Clan Wars weapon drops, is, you guessed it, the Shard of Ray. The Shard of Ray weapon. Now, upon release, this weapon was probably considered the most absurd thing type soul until obviously the Menace Murasama came out. But the Abject upon release had 3 variants across all races, allowing for new build varieties along with the Murasama and Yamato. Now, me personally, I believe all the variants were strong in their own sense, but the one I want to take more in-depth look in is the Soul Reaper Abject. Now, this weapon was a problem. I'm not gonna lie to you, this weapon was a problem. And it's always Soul Reaper with the best concept for some reason. I don't know why. But basically, for those that don't know, the Soul Reaper Abject would basically pull in the enemy and perform a slam back. Now, it doesn't sound too crazy, right? It's just a good critical and maybe a move after % combo potential. Well, you will be mistaken. The critical single-handedly, like, it made Soul Reaper Kido the strongest build in the game. You don't believe me? Better than me? Roll the clip, man. This next one we are covering is rather still used today, not as prevalent as it was before, but you guessed it, we are covering the pre-nerf warding gauntlets. Now, I don't even want to get started on this weapon because this weapon was just pure terror, pan homage all the time. But I'm gonna show you some clips on screen as I'm talking, so you guys can get an idea of what I'm talking about. And as you guys can already see probably, it applies true stun, and you can lead into multiple varieties of combos with Hakuda. On top of that, Hakuda being a masterful in combos, allowing for great damage, fast damage, and a bunch of guard breaks in between. But yeah, ever since it's been getting its nerfs recently, within the past few months and whatnot, people have been switching to Kangs, but I still believe Kangs can still make a comeback if people started using it again. But yeah, when this was pre-nerf, it was definitely one of the hardest things, if not the hardest thing to fight. For our final weapon of the weapon section, we are going to be covering the Odachi. Now, if you are wondering why I didn't put Sweets in here, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's the most bust that's come to this game, I can't lie to you guys. But anyways, back to the Odachi. So again, another Soul Reaper weapon, and I'm going to be honest, it was pretty broken when it came out on release. But compared to everything else on this that we've covered, it's rather, to be honest, tame. Odachi, when it first came out, had basically 3 strong criticals, following which are still good today, but they were pretty unhinged on release, considering that if you hit one, then they followed up into different moves. It was just combo central, I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, it was making it pretty much one of the best pressure weapons in the game, and I think it is still viable today if you use the right build. But builds are subjective nowadays. But yeah, I think let's move on to the next topic, which everyone's been waiting for, obviously. I'm gonna let it introduce itself. All right, you know what I'm saying? So Shikais, where do I begin? So they need to chill, first of all, with the Shikais. They coming out with too much. So Reaper's getting all the content. Shoot me 3 mythical Shikais. Alright, let me chill, bro. So since Type Soul re-released in basically 2024, Soul Reapers have had the most additions to Shikais, with those being things like Benihime, Koyosugetsu, which is Aizen's, Duality, and many more, to be honest. You have other ones like Poison, but Zangetsu, the list goes on. But it's safe to say that the devs have a favorite, to say the least. I think all the new content is good additions for Soul Reaper to add more build diversity as well as more things for players to go against. But one thing these new Shikais have in common is that they were all broken on release. We can all agree on that, I'd hope. Having virtually no cooldowns, iframe moves, fast attacking guard break moves. Who's cooking? Especially Duality. But regardless, I think the dev team has done a pretty good job at balancing these out. They're pretty valid still, so good job on the balance team for that. Moving into reses. Now, Arankars have been pretty untouched. It's something I would say if it wasn't for light res, bro. My gosh. Okay, guys, so light res has gone through a lot of ups and downs. But I think we could all agree that on release it was pure chaos and pan homage, and along with the Segunda. Now, do I even need to get into the Segunda? But anyways, I thought Type Soul was based off, the game. I mean, not the game. The anime. Now we talking Terraria. All right, hold on. But I could be wrong. But the light resin Segunda is just light it burns from Terraria, numbed down, so it's actually possible to fight in the game without getting one tap, as well as the introduction of new Segundas such as Stark, Volcanica, Slash. For overall good updates for Arankars, not much to say on those. Yep, y'all know what that sound is, man. We have to discuss it. It's definitely there, man. Balance. Now, AK, you never die unless you suck at the game. If you die with balance, just quit the game. But it was once a balance originated from a CC player, but eventually the Volt got tailored to regular players, so it became a public thing. And at least to say it's broken. I mean, not as broken as it was pre-nerf, but it's still very valid in my opinion. So basically, the balance has an X move, and basically while you're in the X move, you can carry an entire team in Clan Wars. It can be from 10 to 20, 10 to 19. You hear a balance pop, boom, you just lost a 19 to 20 scenario, or 19 to 10 scenario. And the healing and damage being dealt is effective, and AoE is just insane. But yeah, it's just ridiculous. But our next Quincy vote, arguably number one, I'm gonna be honest, next to balance. Yeah, guys, it's death dealing. You guys saw it come from a mile away. Death dealing has been something, to say the least. The introduction of death dealing has made Quincy's even stronger, and they literally get domain expansion, or what? And all their moves have hyper armor while in Volt, bro. All right, I'm getting sidetracked. As well as they get the lethal dose passive that makes their opponent even take more damage. Ridiculous, truly just ridiculous, man. Not much to say on these. Nerf it all. Alright guys, so beginning into our last chapter is items. Now, there has been some pretty significant amount of changes for items as well, considering that we do have a lot of new accessory items, boss items, new dev products, and just an overall update for items, making it more variety, I guess you could say. But first thing I want to talk about is normal accessories. Now, when I refer to normal accessories, I'm talking to all the rerolls they've added. I'm talking eye color rerolls, Shikai's element rerolls, weapon rerolls, I don't know, let's say hair color, eye reroll, hair reroll, all that good stuff. But me personally, I find this like a good quality of life update. You get more customization opportunities, more diversity. I think it's actually just an overall good update for more accessories. Now, boss items. Now, the reason I didn't cover this early in the map content is because I thought that would make the section a little too long and boring, but we can just discuss it now. So I think with Type Soul's addition of boss raids has been a good way to introduce PvP into this game, but I do think the bosses have or should have relative cooldowns. I'm gonna be honest, bro. You telling me I'm fighting a boss and then they do like a trillion move stack on me and I get one tap? Like, where's the balance in that, man? I'm gonna be honest. Excuse me. But there are a lot of good methods out there to beat bosses, so I guess you could say it goes hand in hand, so it's like fair. But I think boss raids are also a good way to introduce PvP, or PvE, sorry, to drag in more players. So I definitely think it is a very good addition to the game. Good job, guys. I mean, that was it. That was a whole lot of a lot of information to take in. But I hope y'all did enjoy today's video. And again, I'll try to post more regularly. I just haven't had anything to post recently. And yes, this video was not covering any dev drama or dev related things. I'm just not about that. If you guys were looking at that, I'm really sorry, but that was just not happening. It was not risking getting banned by anyone. But yeah, guys, with that being said, stay blessed. I will see you guys in the next one. Yeah.